Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton, and I just got out of seeing the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe film, Thor Ragnarok. Now when it comes to the Thor movies, I always found them to be the weakest overall of the Marvel films. Not that they're bad, but more that they're the most uninteresting, considering that it felt like Thor needed to be on planet Earth, or he needed to have, his normal human friends in order to make the character relatable to the audience. Well, this one is not only the best Thor film of the bunch, but it's easily in my top 10 Marvel films of all time right now, with amazing humor, incredible special effects, a great brotherly rapport between Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston as Thor and Loki, great new characters, and an awesome villain. But let's get to the story, shall we? After returning from another mission on a faraway realm, Thor, played once again by Chris Hemsworth, happens to come across the goddess of death known as Hela, played by Cate Blanchett. She destroys his hammer, as you've probably seen in the trailers, and gets Thor and Loki whisked away to another realm where Thor is forced to become a gladiator and fight off against his good old friend the Hulk. Yep, he's there now. That's where he's been ever since Avengers Age of Ultron. So it's up to Thor, Hulk, Loki, and a young woman played by Tessa Thompson, who's a scrapper, in order to get off this planet, head to Asgard, and save it from the goddess of death. Now, the story may seem typical, but what makes the film's story work out is because it happens to take things a lot differently than most Marvel films, where it takes things differently mainly because Thor and Loki's bond has been established so well that often they just steal entire scenes just by talking to each other. And the same can be said for Thor's relationship with the Hulk, and even his relationship with the scrapper woman played by Tessa Thompson. Now, obviously the comedic rapport and the dramatic moments have been kind of sharpened to a T with the fact that there have been so many Marvel films that have come before. But the director Taika Waititi has really good sense of when to be serious, when to be funny, and when to just be action-packed. Because even though the film is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, it doesn't even feel half that long. Mainly just because you're having so much fun throughout. I haven't laughed this hard in a Marvel film since Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's mainly because the jokes are quite varied. Some are visual gags, some are dialogue-based, some are character-based, and some just come out of nowhere. Hey, Taika Waititi even plays a CGI character in the film, and he's actually really funny. As far as the characters are concerned, Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo are just as great as Thor and Hulk that you remember them. It's amazing how much they can get out of these characters. Tom Hiddleston is, of course, very funny, but also quite devious as Loki. Tessa Thompson works really well in this type of film, and when you learn more about her, you're really interested. And Cate Blanchett happens to break the Marvel curse of, poorly defined and not very interesting villains by having a villain who is interesting, who is powerful, and she happens to have an interesting connection with Thor's family. And, another thing I liked about this film is the fact that it plays pretty fast and loose with the continuity here, to the point where there's cameos from other Marvel heroes. I dare not spoil them. There's references to other films. One particular reference to Willy Wonka really made me laugh. And overall, it's just very bright, colorful, and full of life. I haven't seen a film this colorful and this funny since Guardians of the Galaxy, like the original Guardians of the Galaxy. But it still ends up feeling like a Thor film proper because of how it looks, how it plays out, and how Thor fits into the story. Now, like most Marvel films, I recommend staying for the credits, considering there are 2 after-credit scenes. They're both pretty funny, and they both apparently set things up for later, but as far as my final thoughts are concerned, it's a Marvel film you definitely should see. It's bright, it's colorful, it's fun, and it just feels like the movie Thor deserves. I give Thor Ragnarok a 9 out of 10. See you next time.